morning. Good morning. Welcome. This is an early webinar on a Saturday, but we're so glad that you're here. My name is Ashton Byram. I'm the director of the School of Musical Theater at the University of Oklahoma. We are all getting settled in. We have people signing in, clickety, clickety, click, right into our attendees and our panelists. We have some faculty here this morning and some staff members and some students who are all anxious to speak with you all. So welcome. We're so glad you could join us. We are here for about an hour and a half. It might not go that long, but we want to make sure we have plenty of time to answer your questions. You'll notice on the bottom of your screen, there's a Q&A button. Please push that, and you will then be able to get questions in, and I'll make sure all of your questions get answered. And if there's some repeat questions, I'll just keep skipping along. But there'll be a chance to make sure that you can ask the faculty some questions and students questions. We have a few videos for you all, and hopefully everybody has a live ticket or a link to see the show, which will be sent out right after this webinar. We'll be live streaming Songs for a New World. This is our closing weekend. It's been a huge success. So many challenges with COVID-19. You certainly understand that because here we are on a webinar instead of in person, but I'm so glad we can reach you all this way, and welcome. So let's get started. I will share a little bit about myself, and I'm also going to try to practice being a cool DJ with the sharing the screen and not sharing a screen. But I will let you know a little bit about me. I just started this role 2 years ago. This is the beginning of my third year. I moved here from Chicago, and prior to that, I was in grad school in Cincinnati. And before that, I was an actor in New York for about 15 years. And I say that because I want you to understand what our backgrounds are and how we've come to be in this awesome, special place. All of the faculty here do what we teach. I think that makes us unique in so many ways. The students are able to have someone that they can look up to and identify with, not only as a teacher, but as an older colleague. That's really special. It makes us able to sort of walk the walk with our students. We're very fortunate that we have a couple of major performance organizations here, equity theaters and philharmonics and ballet companies that are able to provide opportunities for the students and professional work, and also for the faculty. As you probably know, we are a small program. We are a school of musical theater. We're the only ones in the country. And we are in the University of Oklahoma, which is a giant Research One university. So the students that choose OUMT are usually students that want a small family style program. It's conservatory style in that there's a lot of sequencing that's similar. When people say conservatory style, that's generally what they mean. Like the sophomores all go to a certain class together, or the juniors go to a certain dance class or voiceover class or whatever. And that's what the conservatory style means. It's also small and intensive. And while we have capped ourselves at 50 students, we have 9 full-time faculty. We should stop the webinar now and we could be done, because nobody else can really say that, which is really great. We are very fortunate, and maybe the students are like, yes, they know so much about us, but it really infers that we're able to pay attention to them and offer personalized training in a way that you just can't do without that many instructors and folks looking out for you. So to have a faculty of theater professionals who are leading a very small, tight-knit, awesome group of talented, unique, individual, diverse students is an incredible setting. It's a wonderful family atmosphere in that we see each other in the hallways. Everybody's wearing masks right now, but it's just, it makes coming to work pretty fun. And you feel like you are, it's certainly hard and it's certainly rigorous, but it's also what we all love to do. So we're all really lucky to be here. One of the things that I want to make sure that you all know is that along with our faculty to student ratio, which is 5 to 1, our facilities are gorgeous. The performance facilities, the theater spaces here are lovely. We are set within the College of Fine Arts. The Weizenhofer Family College of Fine Arts is the name of the College of Fine Arts. And there are several colleges around the university, like many universities. And there are 5 units in the College of Fine Arts. There's the School of Drama, School of Dance, the School of Music, the School of Visual Arts, and the School of Musical Theater. And there are 5 directors, and we report to the dean. The dean's an amazing woman. She is a former principal ballerina with Houston Ballet and a great leader for us. And she is also the producer of our main stage series called University Theater. So University Theater offers 8 main stage performance opportunities. School of Visual Arts has their own works and their own seasons and their own things that they do to show their students' work. But our performance schools all each get one show in the fall and one show in the spring. The School of Music often offers operas, and then School of Dance has a ballet company and a modern company, and the School of Drama, of course, is offering straight plays, and then we're doing musicals. We do small and large, lots of different styles and genres. We're trying to keep in mind that over your 4 years that you're with us, you are getting a chance to really get a chance to live with different styles and different composers and things from different decades, so that as you leave, there's a variety of things on your resume and it's educational. You want to find kind of what you really love within the canon, and we are mindful of who gets roles and who needs to be cast, but it's super competitive, and you're not just getting a trophy because you're here. You have to earn the roles. It's very competitive, but it's healthy competitive. I hope that's what it is. It really drives our students to do their best work. We just announced that we're having auditions next month. The spring shows are Spring Awakening and I Love You, You're Perfect Now, Change. And you'll notice that makes 3 shows, right? Because we're doing Songs for a New World now. The third show is something we've just started called our Downtown series. Sean Churchman, who's one of the faculty members who's on here, is a director also, and he directed our first Downtown series show, Into the Woods, last February. And that is a self-produced project. It offers more opportunities for our students, and it really gives them a chance to sort of off the radar of university theater. We can sort of do our own thing. It's intended to feel more black box, more a little more stripped down perhaps, although I would offer Into the Woods was incredibly fleshed out and beautifully produced. But you know, that is one more opportunity for our students. And so depending on where the musicals fall for the university season, then we will find the open couple of months in that semester and also self-produce a show. In addition to those 3 larger projects, we have a freshman showcase that's starting in a couple of weeks for this current freshman class. It's October 17th. That will also be live streamed on the School of Music Facebook page. So if you take down that note, you'll be able to watch the freshmen who just started here. They're amazing. They will be performing October 17th. I think it's at 8 o'clock. Saturday, October 17th, on the School of Music Facebook page. Will be live streamed. And our faculty members, Lynn Kramer and Paul Chrisman, will be in charge of that. So some of the students that are here, I think all of them that are joining us today have all been a part of the freshman showcase as well. It's a great way for them to introduce themselves to the program, show what they can do. It's a great way for them to perform together right away. It's an awesome project. We also have, and many of you have probably figured out what our senior showcase looks like. We call it Industry Week here. It's one of the main things that sets us apart. The way that we have traditionally done it is that we're preparing students all 4 years, and as the senior year rolls around, there are a couple of very pointed, specific classes where we are working on material, preparing to meet the agents and casting directors that they'll see in May during our Industry Week. And again, this is where the small program, large amount of faculty really pays off, because you're getting a great amount of attention and feedback, not only throughout the 4 years, but in this final year, to really prepare and figure out how best to introduce yourself, how to make that first impression, because it counts so much. And what sets us apart, instead of a showcase, many schools do these sort of 3 o'clock and 7 o'clock at Alvin Ailey Studios, and those work great. Ours is a little more comprehensive. We take students to New York for a week, which is why we call it Industry Week. And you will have, over the course of 4 or 5 days, appointments, several throughout the day, with casting offices or agents in an audition room, much like what your college auditions are going to feel like. And it gives the casting folks and the agents a chance to really get to know you. And more importantly, ask for a different song, or, hey, can you try that again? But we want to give you a little bit of direction. And all of those things really can't happen if you do a showcase. We call it Showcase Under Glass, where you can't touch it and everyone's sort of frozen in time, and you do your song and a half and your jewel tone dresses and your ladukas, and those are great. But you get a chance to really meet people and make a relationship with these casting folks, who then see how you work in the room, and they get a sense of who you are, and they know that they can vouch for you when they send you in for work, which of course is the whole point. So it is a really more personable relationship building structure. And there will be 2 or 3 appointments for several days in a row. And then, just as a byproduct, that's a bonus, imagine if you are building up to this Monday, this showcase Monday, and oh my God, my whole life counts on this day. Well, what if you get a cold and lose your voice on Monday? Sorry. So the great thing about that is that you're performing all week. So maybe Monday you messed up, or maybe Monday you got a really great note that then you incorporate into your work for the rest of the days. That kind of advantage where you're learning from the showcase experience, as a teacher and an actor, I love that. You get a chance to improve upon your work. You also become more confident in the room. It's the same room at Pearl Studios generally, and you're working all week long. So by the time Thursday comes around, you've been doing this all week long. You're super comfortable with it, and they get a chance to really see you at your best. So it's a learning experience. It's also got a couple of safety nets in there with the extra days. And I find that the students really kind of get a chance to try out New York as actors living there for a few days. And some of them will then go on to their summer stock jobs and then maybe not move to New York until September. But you'll have time to meet some agents at that point and get a chance to sort of make the connections, and people start getting called in and called back from different offices. And it's an exciting, exciting week. I want to let you all know, because you can imagine there's so much that's changed in our industry. One of our newest initiatives, for example, last year we were preparing for Industry Week, and then March 12th happened and COVID affected everyone, and so much of the theater industry changed. We were still able to put together a digital showcase like several schools did, and we used something called breakdown services. We brought the students in undercover, don't tell anyone, and we filmed all of their things and put them online and submitted them to the agents and casting directors, which was great. Lots of kids got signed. We are still planning to take them to New York at the end of this school year, everything allowing, of course, because we want to bring them in to get a chance to really meet them in the room. It's just so valuable. But what that prompted us to do is to develop an initiative called Level Up. We've hired 2 different consulting firms / web designers, and they are going to be helping to cultivate the essence and the brand of our current students so that their social media, and they are creating websites for them. All of that is prepared and ready. So the thing we've all learned is that your online presence matters so much. Actors have always had websites for a long time and Instagram accounts for a long time, but to be able to cultivate that from a personal account into your professional account is what this is all about. So we have 2 people who are brand consultants who are also musical theater majors and actors in the city, and someone who designs websites for actors and doctors and other companies who's also a former musical theater major and actor in the city. Those people will be helping our students with office hours and master classes throughout the year, the sophomores, juniors, and seniors, really create an online presence for themselves that tells who they are as artists and sets them apart. So we're super excited about that. Just a few more bullet points, and I will get. I am supposed to change slides, so bear with me as I do that. And I kind of put up another thing here. Here we go. Oh, great! Here's some pictures of our campus. This is some pictures of our students in front of our building. We have a gorgeous campus. The University of Oklahoma is so pretty. And if you are not here this weekend, I hope that you will find a time to come and really take it in, because if you want to be studying in a gorgeous environment with generally great weather, it's October, and it's going to be 70 degrees today and sunny, and it's lovely. But the campus is so beautiful. I want to make sure you get a chance to see some of those pictures. Again, Research One University. We are in one of the older buildings on campus. There are 8 original buildings. We are in one of them. The university is 15 years older than the state of Oklahoma. So for all of you who've done Oklahoma, do your dramaturgical research, you'll know that that's like 1885. It's a beautiful environment to be studying in. Some of the other things that really set us apart, our Industry Week I've told you about. We have a really great relationship with lots of industry folks. We bring them in as guest artists. We've had guest directors for shows. We also bring in choreographers from Broadway, directors from Broadway, casting folks, agent folks, and also people who are up and comers. One of our alumni, for example, last spring, his name is Barry Busby. He is the assistant to Broadway choreographer and Tony nominee, Dennis Jones. So we brought both of them back to work with our students. And it's important for our students to see, not only is Barry doing so well, he's been in many shows in New York, but he's also parlayed that into a long-term relationship with somebody who is a mover and a shaker in the industry. And that kind of philosophy really is how we think about who we bring in. We bring in some major people. Susan Stroman's been here, Warren Carlisle's been here, Audrey McDonald has been here in the last several years. But we also want to bring in people who can actually get you work for that first job, or will remember you at the dance call because they saw you here for 3 days. Again, because we are industry folks as well, we just know that the connections really matter. And so to have folks that will remember you in a detailed way because they've worked with you for a couple of days in class, those are the kind of people that you will get to work with here. Changing into one more slide, and then I'm going to hand it off to the faculty. So why are we all here? There is success to be found in the entertainment industry in lots of different forms. We brag a lot about our Broadway alumni because we're so proud of them, but there are lots of ways to find success in the theater in this, especially in this crazy time. People are being so creative and finding new ways to create and express and storytell. We have tremendous alumni working all over the world. And these are a few of the show logos from the most recent grads. I think last year, 2019, we had 9 people book Broadway shows, which is pretty incredible. We have 2 alumni in the Steven Spielberg West Side Story movie. Ez Minas is playing Anybody's. They're amazing. They're also in the cast of Jagged Little Pill. Eloise Kroc is playing a jet girl. She graduated a few years ago as well. We are very fortunate that our students are doing so well. And what we always hear is that they're not only professional and they get it and they're quick and smart and artistic, but they're nice people. And they understand that you create a relationship and you create a reputation, and that matters. So keeping your nose clean in the rehearsal process, concentrating and learning what rehearsal etiquette is and how to be a professional is super important to us. We want to make sure that when you go out there, you represent yourselves well and you represent the school well. So I think it's awesome to be in a place that cares about all of you and can teach you how to be your best, most unique artistic self in the industry. Anyway, our faculty, 3 of our faculty are here today, and I want to make sure you get a chance to meet them. Mandy and at least Sean is here. I'm going to go through and check. We were having a little bit, oh good, everyone is here. I have to fix some co-host action and I'll get everybody signed on. Excuse me for just 1 second. I feel like I'm like literally the guy doing American Top 40 and running the record player at the same time, as if that was possible. Anyway, I'm going to stop sharing and let's see if we can get all the faculty's faces on. Lynn and Sean and Mandy should be here. Let me click through. And if you guys will click on your videos, should be able to do that. Let's see. There's Mandy and
there they are.
Look at that. Happy Saturday morning. Look at my friends here. Like, we love you, Ashton. Here we are. We all got online. I'll let them all introduce themselves and share a little bit about what they do. Make sure you unmute yourself so we can hear you, you guys, and we'll get started. Sean, you want to take it away? It looks like you're ready, camera ready in Texas. Take it.
I am camera ready in Texas. Yes, I'm at my mother's in Texas. So, you know, I know most people are fearful that their 5-year-old is going to walk behind them. But if you see an 80-year-old lady walk behind me, just understand that's my mother. So, hi, everyone. I'm Sean Churchman, and I am a associate professor of performance. Mandy, take it away. Are we just doing introductions first?
Well, yeah, we can do introductions first. Mandy, go ahead.
Okay, hi, good morning. I'm so happy to be here online with everyone. My name is Mandy Duran, and I am an assistant professor of voice in the School of Musical Theater.
Awesome. And Lynn, can you click unmute, Lynn? There you go.
Hi, everybody. I'm Lynn Kramer, and I am, I've been around a long time, and I run the dance division. And it's a pleasure to see all of you this morning. And of course, I'm the last one online because I had the most technical difficulties, so bear with me. Being the oldest, I'm the least adept at this technical stuff, so I'm getting the hang of it. But it's nice to see all of you, and welcome, welcome, welcome to OU.
Great. So you all just share a little bit about what you're teaching and maybe the sequencing of the classes that you're in charge of. And of course, anything else that you want to share. We're also lucky to have these faculty members here. They are rock stars, and we care so much about what you know about our school. That's why they're online on 10 a.m. on a Saturday morning. So Lynn, go ahead and just continue.
Okay. Well, as I said, I'm pretty much in charge of the dance division. We teach jazz and tap and urban, which is a version of hip hop, a street style of dance. We also have core practice, which is a strengthening program that we started several years ago. And then our students have the great benefit of studying with the School of Dance here at OU, in the top 3 in the nation, ballet and modern dance. So you get not only teachers from every genre, but you have both male and female instructors, which is always a big, it makes a big difference in your training to get lots of different perspectives and lots of different strengths from both a male and a female gender when you're taking class. All of our dance classes are sequenced. We begin at the most beginner level. Our hip hop teacher, urban teacher, Michelle, also teaches a tap fundamentals class for those students who have had absolutely no tap whatsoever. Usually tap is the area that gets the least attention as students are coming through their dance schools or their high schools, if you're fortunate enough to have an arts program in your high school. And when you come into the program, we place you where you belong. So if you are an advanced dancer or in fact have any experience at all, we, within the confines of the schedule, allow you to be placed where you fit so that you do not tread water. You are immediately engaged, challenged, and moving forward. Every student is treated as an individual, though many times you sequence through classes with your own class, albeit freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. But many times those are kind of cross-pollinated because of levels and ability. I think one of the most important things about our program is over the 20 years that I've been at OU, it's grown exponentially, and we have allowed our students, I think Ashton mentioned Barry Busby earlier, he was second or third in line, but starting way back with a student by the name of Jared Watson, who now runs his own theater very successfully in Louisiana, students came to me and asked if they could be assistants or choreograph or do something creative on their own that is an extension of their studies and their education in the area of dance. And this has grown in such ways. Not only are they allowed to work as choreographers or assistants in the main stage productions, but we have students who choreograph our freshman showcase. Once they become seniors, they're choreographing their own showcase. They don't need me anymore, or any of our faculty, quite frankly, as far as dance is concerned. We also allow them to choreograph for international trips. We take several trips every other year, and those shows offer the opportunity for student choreographic creativity. And we're only limited by your imagination. So if you want to create something, we try to help you do that. And it can be done in many ways, and probably in ways we haven't even thought of yet. As Ashton said, now that we're confined temporarily in this situation, we can become very creative. But I think initially what you need to know, the important things you need to know is, if you've had no dance, there's a place for you. If you've had a little dance, there's a place for you. If you're an advanced dancer, we will challenge you. So the most important thing to know is that we offer all genres, we offer strengthening programs, and you indeed will improve as a dancer. We pride ourselves as a school of musical theater, the only one in the United States. Ashton probably said that. But we pride ourselves in the fact that we encourage our students to train equally as actors, as singers, and as dancers. Every area is important. So we look forward to you attending our school. Mm-hmm. And thank you very much for allowing me to explain a little bit about our dance division.
Yay.
Awesome.
Yay.
Sean, you want to take it away?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Sean Churchman, and like I said, I'm a performance professor, and some of you are probably thinking, well, what does that mean, really? And the performance faculty are folks that teach acting, and sometimes that is, actually just speaking a scene, but it also involves musical coaching. And musical coaching, is something very different in the profession. This is not someone who's at the piano accompanying you or teaching you notes. This is someone who is teaching you how to be a good actor through song. And so we have several performance professors, and including Ashton. And, you know, just to sort of follow up on something that Ashton was talking about, you know, Lynn, myself, Mandy, Ashton, and others are all performing. We are all on stage all the time. We are union members. We're members of Equity. We're members of the SDC, the Society of Directors and Choreographers, also of the Dramatists Guild. So, you know, that kind of professional experience that we still strive to have in our own career, we pass on to you. So in the performance track, you're going to begin with how does one cut, perform, break down, you know, songs from the American Songbook. This is when you're a freshman. It's called auditions, because we're going to push you out there to begin auditioning as soon as you can. And then you're going to move on through several song study and rep courses over the course of years, including we have just recently added one specifically for pop and rock songs, because that is, of course, the direction of our industry. So you are going to learn how to, you know, sing Depeche Mode and, you know, Pat Benatar and Adele and etc., but know how to do that in an audition room for a show. And that is something very different. We also work, like Lynn and our dance program works very closely with the School of Dance. The performance program works very closely with our friends at the School of Drama. And so you're going to begin in your freshman year there in the School of Drama, taking classes with drama majors of basic acting technique, characterization, scene study, Shakespeare, etc. And then you will sort of come back to us and you'll do scene study, a year of scene study, where you'll begin in the presentational musicals, of Anything Goes, etc., through the Golden Age, Sondheim, and all the way up until the most recent shows that we can get our hands on for you to do in class. We're also very excited about what we are calling our Advanced Musical Theater Workshop. And this is a new course that if you come to OU, you will be a part of. And this is something we are devising specifically for seniors. And this is where you are going to be able to explore in a workshop type of class, what are your interests? Do you want to try your hand at creating a musical? Do you have an interest in writing? Do you have an interest in directing? Do you want to do some digital content? And this is where, you know, something perhaps like what we've done very often in the past is to have Tony-nominated writers and other up-and-coming writers coming to OU and trying out their material on you. And that has paid dividends for our students immeasurably. Some of the writers of In Transit, the Broadway musical, came down, worked on their new show, and when students that were playing the leads in that show moved to New York, they all got together and they're recording more material for another show. So, you know, this is a very important way to enter into the industry. And so that musical theater workshop is going to be, you know, a very important part of sort of launching you into the industry and into New York. So, you know, whether you have never acted before, and you've only been dancing in the ensemble because you are primarily a dancer, it does not matter to us. We are going to teach you how to act and act while you sing, and how to speak on stage and be confident and understand the different styles and techniques of musical theater performance. So I think that's it, Ashton.
Awesome. Thanks, Sean. Hey, Mandy, you want to take it?
Yes, yes. Thanks, thanks again for coming out this morning and meeting with us. We are thrilled to be able to share what we love and what we do with you. Again, my name is Mandy, and I teach voice in the School of Musical Theater. I am one of 3 voice faculty in the School of Musical Theater. And we like to consider ourselves team voice. We really are, something that makes us unique is that we really are a team of teachers. And it's illustrated in the way that students, when you first come to study at OU, you are with a voice teacher for 2 years. And after those 2 years, you will move to another studio and study with one of the other teachers. In addition to that studio switch, we also have rotating master classes. And if I am a host teacher of a master class, I don't work with the students in my studio. I work with the students from the other 2 voice studios. So by the time you leave OU and have graduated, you'll have worked with all 3 of us at some point in some capacity. And we think that's really important because everybody has a different way of learning. Everybody is looking to improve to be the best possible singer they can be. And with input from all 3 of us and our different teaching styles, all 3 of us teach a little bit differently, but we all want the same thing from you. So I think it's an amazing opportunity and very unique to our program that our voice faculty and student relationship is structured in this way. We are a voice, Studio Voice is a voice building class. It is not a repertoire building class. It is an opportunity for you to focus on singing, to learn healthy vocal technique, to focus on vocal health, and learn how to use your instrument in a variety of musical styles. Not only do we work on theater canon, we also go into the different styles of contemporary commercial music, styles such as folk, jazz, pop, and rock. As my colleagues have already mentioned, that we do have a class specifically designed for that rock pop singing. So not only do you get it in the voice studio, but you also have the opportunity to take a class that's all the music that you're singing and learning about and stylizing and making own. We structure our voice levels. We have 4 levels of voice, and all students come into our program and start at voice level 1. But that's not to say that if you have been singing your entire life, we meet you where you are on your voice journey. The repertoire that we focus on in voice level 1 really stems from the classic musical theater canon. It's important to learn how to sing with technique that, it's putting theory into practice, the things that you're learning in the studio, putting it into repertoire and being able to sing. Those older songs are so very singable and great teaching tools for us, not to mention that it's an important part of the art form, of the American art form. So we spend time in the classical musical theater repertoire. About 75% of our repertoire in voice level 1 is from the classical musical theater canon, and about 25% in the contemporary musical theater canon. And then in voice level 2, it shifts to a more even split. It's about 50-50. Voice level 3, it shifts some more, and we delve a little bit more heavily into the contemporary musical theater, 75% there, 25% classical musical theater. We've also, by this time, sprinkled in the other musical styles. By this time, by voice level 3, you probably will have already had rock class. So you're really, really honing your instrument. And in voice level 4, you have the opportunity in the fall semester to work on an entire role, something that you could graduate from our program and go do immediately, something that fits you where you are right then. And then in the spring semester, we really are focusing on getting you out into the world, right? What does your book look like, your audition book? Are all the different styles represented? Are there other holes that need to be filled? And then you graduate and you're out in the big bad world. But we are excited to share what we love with our students to make you the best possible singer that you can be. It's exciting for us, and we can't wait to meet you and hopefully welcome you to campus.
Thanks, Mandy. Y'all are so awesome. Do you have questions, anyone, for our faculty? Who has, I see a few that have been answered and a couple of kind reminders, like we can't see your slides, so I appreciate that. Does anyone have questions for the faculty, specifically about classes or how they work in the shows that they're directing here on campus, or anything. Any questions at all? Now is your chance. Any of them? Awesome.
Yes, here's a question. Asking if we have classes in music theory. Yes, we do.
We have,
and our great colleague, Dr. Harold Mortimer, teaches sight singing and music theory. We have always had several students that play instruments, which is amazing, and we try to help you. And of course, you can take private piano, private guitar. We've had students that have taken private violin, etc. And so we really encourage you, if you are a strong musician, to lean into that and really help you try to do that.
I see that there's the question about injuries. We certainly have had students occasionally will have something happen, like we all do, because we're all human. I think Lynn is there. Do you want to take that, Lynn, about the injuries? There's a question.
She lost her connection.
Right. So I'll jump in there. So, like, for example, last year we had a student that hurt their knee in our production of Cabaret, and she's good as new now. She's actually in Songs for a New World, but it was a major event in her life, and she had to have surgery over the Christmas break, and then she was not able to be in the main stage production in the spring, but she was still in classes. There were accommodations made for the locations of classes for a while she was still on crutches. And you get past them. We've had students with, a couple of years ago, we had a student with a vocal injury that went and did vocal rest for 6 weeks. We worked around that. She made up some work in the January term. We brought in a casting director for Bernie Telsey, and the next day she had a callback for Mean Girls and did fine and is signed with an agent, and she's all good to go. She had a lead in Legally Blonde. I think a lot of that leans towards our status as people who do this as well. We're performers. We know this is a long game. Injuries happen. We try to prevent them. There's a lot of conditioning that goes on in all of our classes. We actually have two core practice classes that are offered Tuesday and Thursday mornings, where students are getting a chance to really concentrate on fitness as it relates around musical theater performance. But those things happen, and we have worked around them. And I don't know of any instance where that's involved a student having to leave. You're here. For example, the voice lesson requirements. There are 6 semesters of voice lessons required, but many students take private voice lessons all 4 years. But that flexibility is built in so that if someone wants to get mono and have to be sick for 2 weeks or whatever, they can not miss out on their sequencing or their requirements. You minoring in dance, I actually don't know if there's a minor in dance. We have lots of students that minor in several things and major in musical theater. We have a couple of students that have even double majored in some history. For example, a senior graduated last year that was a history major and a double major in musical theater. There is room, we do allow it. We just are concerned about your time management and your ability to do well in both. You would have an advisor in the alternative area and an advisor over here in musical theater. So it's allowed. But you do have GPA requirements and things that you must do and meet in our curriculum to keep your scholarship and to be able to be cast in the shows. So that's why we would have a serious discussion to make sure that you're up for it. Many students do the honors tracks. We have a lot of smarties here. It's a academically challenging place to be, and a lot of students like learning and really want to sort of use all 4 years to gather as much information as they can, because it's not just about musical theater. We encourage people to be interested in other things because it makes you a better artist. So yes, we were just talking about the private lessons. There are 6 semesters of private voice lessons, hour-long each week, all 4 years. And halfway through, you switch from one studio to another voice studio. There are 3 private voice teachers within the School of Musical Theater. We have musical theater voice specialists here. It's one of the things that makes us so lucky. Let's see, can you describe the ideal candidate for the program? There's so many unique individuals here. I don't want to keep talking. Sean or Mandy, you want to take one of those?
Oh, sorry, I was just typing an answer to to a question.
Sure. Mandy, you want to answer that? What describes the ideal candidate for the program?
Ugh, no.
We're looking for individuals. We're looking for people who have obviously work for the craft, but also who are know who they are, what they can offer to us. Is there a little spark there? Are they kind of goofy? Are they, we really want to just see you be real. I don't think there is a black or white answer in terms of what exactly it is that we're looking for. I just really feel that it's important for you to be your most genuine and authentic self, and present your best material, and be real.
I'll agree 100% with Mandy there. There's always going to be someone that can sing higher or louder or kick their face higher or whatever. But what we are less interested in someone who's a wind-up audition toy versus a real person, someone who can chat with us, someone who communicates when they speak and sing, someone who we get an idea of who you are and how we can work with you. Those are the kinds of folks that really interest us. What do you have to say? That really interests us.
One of the things that I can also help you all understand is that and we'll talk about our audition process in a little bit, but we have pre-screens online, and then we select folks for callbacks that we feel have the best chance of being successful within our curriculum. And so we are looking for students that are those kids that are really unique. We, as Sean and Amanda are saying, we're looking for individuals who have an idea of what they do well, that there's joy in their performances. They seem to love this. They have some previous training, but we also understand that you shouldn't be going to college if you're ready to be on Broadway right now. If you're ready to go on Broadway, then go do that. But if you still want to get better and want to find your voice as an artist, and we have sort of a rule of thumb is that we're looking for people who have great strengths in at least 2 of the 3 disciplines of musical theater. So if they are people who are great singer-actors, but they're just movers, or people who haven't had much dance training, that's great. And all of the variables for that. But the reason that we do the callbacks is so that we can spend a good amount of time with you and really get a chance to know you, give you some adjustments, so that your callback with us, even though it will be virtual this year, will be 15 minutes long, because we want to get to know you. We want you to get to know us. And so we'll work on your song. We'll do your song again. We'll ask, what else do you have? We just want to talk and see if you're someone who seems like they're going to be happy here and do well here. And how flexible are you? Can you take direction? As Sean is saying, if you are so shellacked into your audition that you can't be flexible, that isn't as interesting. In fact, as you're preparing your auditions, I would encourage you to do your pieces for friends or teachers and ask them to give you adjustments so that you can practice taking a note and adding it to your performance. That's impressive, because it makes us understand that you have a strong sense of what you're doing, but you can add to your performance or make an adjustment, which makes you a flexible artist in the room. And that's who we want to work with. We have additional questions here.
Hey, Ashton.
Yes, sir.
There's a really interesting question that, I think has to be answered in person rather than, and might take all of us. And that's, how are we adapting to COVID guidelines?
Yeah. Y'all want to take it? We've had a couple of meetings about COVID, right? Just a couple.
A couple daily.
Daily, like so many schools are.
Yeah.
Well, take it away.
Yeah. Well, sure. I can speak about what we're doing in our classroom and how we're prepping our spring musical, which is Spring Awakening. And boy, try to wrap your brain around doing Spring Awakening for COVID guidelines. You can look this up. OU has done a rather remarkable job in tackling COVID-19 and the guidelines for a successful education, whereas schools smaller than OU are having 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 cases on campus, and we're in around the 300 range. That changes daily, don't quote me on numbers, but, so we take it very, very seriously. And in classes, right, in my scenes class right now, we are performing in masks and shields sometimes. We have I think we had, what, 14 in that class, Ashton. So Ashton and I split the class in two. So we're 7 and 7, and Ashton and I are switching, sort of sections of the same class. So all the students get both of us in the semester, but we only have 7 people in the room performing, which is important for social distancing. We have Ashton spent the summer going around with a crowbar opening windows in our 100-year-old building, so we have fresh ventilation. We also have air purifiers in the classrooms. We wipe down literally everything we touch at the end of every class. We are really sort of bending over backwards to meet and probably, speaking with colleagues across the country, exceed what is recommended. And knock on wood, I even hate to say it, we have been, yes, exactly, or a wood facsimile. We have been so successful so far. Ashton has a production right now of Songs for the New World that is on stage live performance, which is very rare in the country. And then I know Mandy can talk about the voice studio.
Sure. We have hour-long lessons, and usually at the half-hour mark, we have an accompanist come and join us in the studio to work on repertoire that the students are working on. But we have eliminated that third person in the studio. The voice studios are, I think, actually rather large compared to many voice studios that I've seen at other institutions, but we're very fortunate in that way. However, 2 people is enough, and we have air purifiers in each of the voice studios with the ability to open the window and put a fan blowing out for ventilation. We also have, I call it our plexiglass wall, that kind of has divided our studio in half, where I am on one side of the room and the student comes in and they're on the other, but we can see each other and there's this plexiglass, but we carry on and we are masked. We do have a face shield option, which we utilize, especially if we need to, we would love to always see the singer's mouth. However, there are certain exercises that are better suited for wearing the shield, and only if students are comfortable and the professor is comfortable with that. But we do utilize both. And then we do allow for ventilation time. So usually students' lessons are kind of scheduled, based on their schedule, but it often winds up that they are back-to-back lessons. I finish a lesson after 1 hour, then there's someone else waiting for their lesson, and so on. You get maybe 30-minute breaks here or there. But we purposely scheduled our lessons so that we had 30 minutes between each student. That gives us time to ventilate the room. We have our Clorox wipes that we wipe down, again, everything that students may have touched. They wipe down their music stand, if it's the arm of a chair, whatever the case may be, to prep the space for the next student. So I have felt that we have, to echo Sean's, what Sean was saying, we've done a good job of taking those extra precautions, and we will continue to do so.
And I think the thing is being flexible. We're fortunate that our program is small, and as they were mentioning, our schedule has been spread out a bit, so the days are a touch longer because there are 30 minutes in between each space where there's empty sort of exchange of air time. Our entire building had a filter upgrade in addition to each of the rooms. And there are arrows in the floor, and the stairwells are one way or the other way. And now the front door is only an entrance only, and the side doors are the exits. And there are foot grabs for the doors. So there's just some things like that. There's hand sanitizer and wipes in every room. Lots of precautions. In the dance studios, they are taped out. The larger spaces have been taped out for plenty of distance in between each student. Also, the curriculum, especially in a dance room, has been changed. So the traffic is always going in the same direction. Everyone is in a mask. We've bought headsets for the teachers so that they can be heard through their masks. We have done a lot of preparations because we care so deeply about being able to be teaching in person and our students being here in person. And so much of our success comes from our small numbers. there have been very few actual changes to classes because our class sizes are small. There are other classes on campus. Many of the gen ed classes are online if they can be, or there are online sections. So campus is not as packed as it always would be, which is kind of nice too. So I think our students, and they can speak to this a little bit today, are taking some classes online, or most of the musical theater classes are in person. I have two babysitters who are from the psychology major, which is a whole other subject, but they are, mostly of their classes are online because they are taking sort of normal college classes, or one is in person, but the rest are online. So folks that are in the general population that are not lucky enough to be musical theater majors have had many more changes, but the fine arts programs and the classes, we know the performance classes need to be in person, and the administration knows that. And I feel like they have been very nuanced and careful in the way that we prepared. It does not feel like there's a giant lever they're just going to close campus. It feels like they're being smart about that, which I'm really pleased with because it helps us feel safe too, because we're here as well. So let's see, anything else for the faculty? The virtual callbacks will be virtual this year. They'll be on Get Accepted as a new platform called Audition Room, and we can talk about audition rooms in a little bit, but they will be sort of at the same time. We've often gone to Moonifieds in Texas and to the College Audition Project auditions in Atlanta, and unified auditions throughout the winter time. And we also generally have a couple of auditions on campus. We are doing all of those things virtually this year. I saw a few other people asking about a couple other auditions, and we are doing only those. And the callback dates are TBA. We have pretty much decided that we're pushing the spring semester back a week. So that's going to adjust some of our callback dates. And so those will be clear when the students are invited to a callback. You will have this sort of similar to this. You'll have faculty members' videos going along the bottom. We'll get a chance to interact with you. You'll do your songs and your pieces. We have just yesterday recorded a dance callback that we will send to the students that are called back for various things. You'll prepare that. You'll get it a couple of weeks before your callback, and then we'll have that to see how you perform with a piece that's taught to you sort of in real time. So we're getting pretty, we were just saying this morning, we're getting pretty good at the virtual versions of the things that we need to do. And all the things that we can do online, we're doing that online. But if we can't be online, we're so fortunate to be doing a show live. And as I said, you just sort of put the mask on and get over it and move on. It's amazing how fortunate you feel and how there may be a little bit of discomfort. Nobody wants to wear it, but you wear it. You put it on and you do your work. And we know that it's hopefully temporary, of course. We're all trying to be very careful. We care about our safety. We have had to go into action to send people to quarantine or different screening mechanisms. If something comes up, people will take a class for a week online and then they come back. Some of these folks can talk about that. But are there any other questions for the faculty? And I will let them go have their Saturday. Anything else? Yeah. Thank you all. We appreciate you so much, as usual. Y'all are great. Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Awesome. So we are to see some students, but as we are transitioning, I do want to share one video that I think will answer a lot of questions as well. So I am going to screen share. Here I go. I'm actually making it happen. And then we will start with our student panel. This is a video about our program during the production of Cabaret last year. It features a young woman named Kirsten Myers who just graduated, and she played Sally Bowles. So join us.
Say your name and spell it first. Yeah. Kirsten Myers, Kirsten Myers. What first started my interest in the musical theater world was the combination of everything, because I did dance, I did singing separately in school, and I liked telling stories, I liked talking and being the center of attention. You had the funnest time outside of school. You had something else to do that made you happy versus just doing school and being with those friends. And that gradually progressed into me learning, okay, this is how this actually works. Maybe I need to start looking at serious companies, and I need to start honing in on what I'm not good at. A horrid little German infant with a mustache ordering us about.
I'm willing to take that chance.
I was looking up like top musical theater programs in the country, I came across the University of Oklahoma. So I auditioned for them at Unifieds in Chicago. Oh, like I'm against a lot of people to get this. I do remember on the TV in the lounge, they were playing old films of musicals that they had done here, and they were playing On the Town. Oh my Lord, this is a college show. And I wouldn't have known the difference between a professional show on tour. And I remember watching that and being like, okay, I'm not that good, but I want to be.
Hey, this is Ashton Byram. I'm calling from the School of Musical Theater at the University of Oklahoma. I'm trying to reach Kirsten Myers. Kirsten has some good news that I think you'll be excited about. We'd love to talk to you about joining us here at OU. So please give me a call back as soon as you can. I look forward to it. Thank you. She's incredibly focused, super talented, takes her work very seriously, and she does everything.
She's so multifaceted, and I think all of that speaks to her intelligence and her attitude about making something work through truth, always bringing truth to it.
What am I going to do, you mean? The usual thing, I suppose.
She doesn't let herself off easy, but that drive and that attention to detail and curiosity is what's going to help her make it.
Mindy Casey has struck out.
Musicals can make you laugh, they can make you cry, they can make you think, they can make you scream. I mean, they have such a power to affect people. What's so hard to get over as performers is being able to be self-critical, but not diminishing yourself while doing it. It can be really hard, really difficult to pick yourself up and just say, you can do this, keep doing it.
I think you have to be pretty secure in who you are and what you're able to bring to the table, and that's hard. To really have to sort of pull yourself up is one of the things that they'll get to practice here.
Well, you got accepted here. You're not here for nothing. This program gives you permission to make mistakes and gives you permission to make things better.
I want an actor to go in and do it 5 ways that don't even work before they find a way that maybe works, and then they hone it, and then they get it and they really like it, but maybe in a week it's not working anymore and they try something else. That is the real success.
What makes us different is really the attention to detail. We've had many students book shows in New York on Broadway and lots on national tours, but to have personalized training with almost 5-to-1 student to faculty ratio, with top-notch rigorous training by industry professionals, you kind of can't beat it.
We're a family, and we're a family in every sense of the word. Almost everyone included in their reason for accepting. I feel at home when I'm here.
I don't know why you wouldn't go after whatever it is that you feel drawn to do, because it's a gift. You're sharing this special talent, and if you learn how to use your talents and to craft your technique and hopefully have some success, you're just the most fortunate person in the world. You find what you love and you let that joy and drive and ambition and competition get you to the next goal and the next finish line, and that's how you piece together a career.
I need to tell the stories that nothing else tells. To tell the stories in a way that makes sense to me. And for me, that is acting, singing, and dancing all combined. To me, it's the most glorious and beautiful way to tell a storyline that audiences may not have known about.
Awesome. Yay, so that's a better picture of us from all the production values and the classes that you can see about. But now it is our chance to talk to the students. So much on the YouTube channel. Anyway, Davey and Paris and Jordan are here to speak to you all and answer some questions. I will let them introduce themselves. So yeah, unmute yourselves, you guys, and give it a go. Davey, you want to take it away? Tell us who you are, where you're from. Thank you for your patience with this. Our long-winded director of the program loves to talk, so continue.
Hi guys, my name is Davey Piott. I am a sophomore musical theater major from Atlanta, Georgia.
Paris?
Hi, my name is Paris Richardson. I'm a junior musical theater major from Chicago, Illinois.
Hi everyone, so glad you could make it here this morning. My name is Jordan and I'm a sophomore musical theater major and I'm from Kansas City.
Awesome. Tell us a little bit about why you chose this school, maybe one of your favorite parts, the things that you find really challenging, some great memories of your time here so far. Take it away. Y'all fight it out.
I'll go first. Like I said, I am from Atlanta, Georgia. I grew up in the South in a public high school theater education, wasn't really around professional theater my entire life, had dreamed about OU ever since one of my good friends growing up, Evie Lawson, got in and would always talk about it when she came home. But the one thing that drew OU to my mind was that it is a conservatory style training within a big public university. Something that's really important for me, and I'm sure for a lot of you guys, considering I was in your place not too long ago. I wanted to have an actual college experience while getting really, really top-notch training. Football is very important to me, and thank God OU has a football team because they're killing it. But I came in a singer-actor, was not a strong dancer either, and another thing that also brought me to OU was the dance program, the dance training, the fact that I get to take tap with Lynn Kramer, and the fact that I get to dance jazz with a Rockette, a former Rockette. Like, the opportunities that are provided here are unmatched and you can't find them anywhere else. What's also nice is that Ashton has done a great job by picking classes and picking people. Not only does he pick genuine human beings, but he picks people that are not diverse only in ethnicity, but within their strengths. So my class and a lot of other classes are not all dancer-based. They're not all singer-based. They're all different, and it's so nice to be able to grow and to watch your classmates grow in each class that you are in. Like, we just started taking tap this semester, the sophomore class, and in the past 2 months, like, people who have never tapped before looked like they could be tappers already and just could kill it anywhere they go. What's also nice is that the opportunities provided by the school professionally, considering summer stock, are tremendous. I had the opportunity to perform with Lyric Theater of Oklahoma last week because of the connections that OU have. A lot of our faculty members perform in summer stock shows alongside students who get cast. Like, I got to perform with my voice teacher in the show last week, which was crazy to me. That idea, like, I get to perform with the person who's teaching me how to sing. Just the opportunities that are provided are immense and unmatched, and I fall in love with the school more and more every day, and I'm so thankful to be here.
Yay!
Yeah, I'll go next. So like I said, I'm from Chicago. the high school that I originally went to was a very small art school. There was 139 people total, and my graduating class was like 30. So I knew going to a college, I wanted to study musical theater, but I also wanted, similar to what Davey said, that big school experience. And with OU, it's a big school, but also with OUMT, you have this built-in family. There's a cap at 50, so there's not too many of us. Everyone knows each other. You can always talk to the people in your class. It's just a really nice community. So that's what kind of initially drew me to the program. And when I got here, one of the most beautiful things that I can say about it is there's so many opportunities within musical theater and outside of musical theater. While I've been here, this year I'm actually an intern with the Office of Admissions and Recruitment. So I'm able to work with them and then also like walk to the next building and do my musical theater classes. And within musical theater, a group of students in my class, actually, my sophomore year, first semester, we were able to start an organization called Justice League. Essentially, it's an organization that's student-led, and our goal is to advocate for marginalized students or students who don't necessarily always get to tell their stories. We like to do this through collaboration or performance. And one of the great things about it is we have help from all of the faculty members and other students, like whether they're a part of Justice League or not. I know Ashton's been a big help. Two of our newer advisors, Vince is a voice teacher, and Michelle, she teaches urban. They've been such a big help in helping us put on cabarets and just have discussion panels. Over the summer, we were able to do one event called Lips, Every Voice and Sing to raise money for the movement for Black Lives. We ended up raising close to $5,000 for that, which was, yay, great. It was fun. Basically, all of the student body got to participate. We had some faculty members in there. It was just a great experience all around. So yeah.
Awesome. Jordan?
Hi, everyone. Like I said, I'm from Kansas City. And where I'm from, there weren't a lot of male dancers growing up. So whenever I was being cast in things, I'd go to an audition and they'd be like, oh, you can dance. And so I'd always be put in the ensemble because they're always needing more male dancers in the ensemble. So I was kind of boxed into this, you're a dancer kind of archetype. But when I came to OU, I learned that I am a triple threat. And as soon as I got here, within the first month of coming here, my acting and my singing skills skyrocketed immediately. And I'm still being challenged dance-wise. And I within that first month, for the first time, I felt like I was a true triple threat, even though I was before. And still to this day, I still feel like I'm a triple threat. And I still haven't lost any of that dance technique. It's still there. I take ballet within the dance school, and I actually got into men's ballet. So I'm taking with ballet majors, all the guys. And my dance teacher, he was a principal dancer for Pacific Northwest Ballet for years and years and years. And he just retired, and now he's here at OU. So there's a lot of experiences, especially because it's conservatory style and in a university, you have so much freedom to add as many dance classes as you want, which I really love. So I've been able to add as many dances as I want so I can continue training as a dancer. And the dance training is extremely rigorous. You can attest to Paris and Davey, but it is so rigorous. And I'm learning so much every day, even though I was an advanced dancer coming in. And I feel like I'm a senior actor triple threat. I feel like I can be a leading man. So that's something I really love. And another thing I want to talk about is summer stock. There's a lot of summer stock opportunities here. There's a lyric theater here in Oklahoma City. 2 hours north, there's Music Theater Wichita. 3 hours south in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, there's Casa Manana and Dallas Theater Center. And then you also have the Muni and Stage of St. Louis, which is really close by. Last year, we would all road trip and just go there. And we have some St. Louis people here, so we just stay at their house, and it was just a really fun trip. But also, Ashton brings in theaters to OU to hold summer stock auditions. Last year, we had Theater Aspen come, and because of that, I had a summer stock job, and I was able to go to Aspen, Colorado this summer. I was there for 5.5 weeks, and they canceled their season because of COVID, but I was still able to perform in a series of cabarets, and we also did a radio play version of Meet Me in St. Louis, and that was one of the best experiences of my life, all because they were able to come to OU, and I wouldn't have that for that. So everything.
Yay, awesome. And these students are lovely people as well. That matters so much to us. That's why we want to get to know you at your callbacks, because we get a chance to see, like, who are you in the room, and, you know, what's your personality like, and are we going to have fun working together for 4 years? Because we're going to have really challenging times, and there's going to be things that push you and things that are difficult, and also great triumphs, and we're going to be figuring out where you need to grow here, and this is in your wheelhouse, but this would be really great for you. Let's teach you that. We're very lucky. I consider myself to have a dream job, and to get to work with students like this, you can see why, because they're smart artists. So we'd love to have some questions for the students. You want to go to the Q&A panel and let us hear from you, and let us know what you're thinking about. They have such a great point of view that I want to make sure you all get to share. So I see one. This was about the callback, the musical theater callback. Are there more questions? Please type away. Are there any things that you all can share with the students as they're thinking about this audition process? Davey and Jordan are sophomores, and Paris is a junior. So not too long ago, you all were going through this. You're like, whew, done. But, you know, choosing a school and going into this machine of an audition process, do you have any advice? Any things that you can share with them?
I think I would say when you're, excuse me, when you're auditioning for these schools, I know people always say this, but really just be yourself. It sounds like the worst advice in the world, but it does help a lot, because you're going to be more comfortable, and it's nice for the people behind the table to see that you're a real person, you have a real personality. Trying to be this perfect robotic person isn't going to help you, really. You've prepared for this, you know your material, just go in, do your best. If you mess up, it's fine. Like, if you need to start over, just start over. It's going to be okay. I think a lot of times we build up these auditions to be the highest of the high stakes. And, like, even the stakes are high, but also, like, just have fun, enjoy yourself, because you're getting to do what you love. You're getting to perform. They're here for you. Like, you're auditioning them too. It always helps me to think of it that way. So yeah.
Awesome. Davey or Jordan?
I was just about to say the same exact thing, that we're actually auditioning them. Don't think about it, them auditioning you. Because you really want to find a place, because you're going to be there for 4 years. So you really want to find a place where you feel like you fit in. And I felt that way when I came in here. OU was actually my first audition, and I did it on campus. I came into the lounge, and I was extremely nervous, like almost shaking, just so jittery. And there were so many students already in the lounge, and they're very comforting and very nice. So that's when I felt like, oh, I would love this place, and I vibe with these people. I definitely fit in. So just look for that. You'll like find a place where you definitely fit in.
Davey?
For me, I would say that you'll get a feel for the school as soon as you walk into the audition, whether it's the vocal call or the dance call. And I just remember walking into OU's vocal call and dance call both, just walking in, and the environment was just so happy, so light, so beautiful. I already knew, I was like, these people seem so cool. Like, they just want you to have fun. They want you to succeed. So you just have to, like what everybody else said, just be you. I know people tell you that all the time. Just literally be you. Don't change anything about yourself. Like, it's not a big deal. It's just, you have to be yourself, and they'll fall in love with you. That's really just it.
So several questions here popping up. A lot of people want to know, and I think you're sort of answering it, but what made you pick OU versus the other schools that you got into? Anyone? Davey? Jordan?
I had like an immediate feeling the minute I walked onto the campus and into the school and met everyone. Sometimes you like have to go there in person, which I hope you guys have a chance to do. But once you meet the people, once you understand the environment, that was something that just drew me in immediately. But also one other big thing that drew me to OU was the class size, 12. I have a friend who goes to another theater school and they're 24, and she says that they like break off into cliques, but because it's 12, we're all so close. And my class is my lifeline. If I didn't have them, I don't know where I'd be. They're there for emotional support, mental support. They're there to hype you up. I love them so much. So,
ladies?
I ultimately picked OU. Like I said, I fell in love in the audition. And I know this is cheesy, but the moment I stepped on campus, because I toured other schools, but the moment I stepped on campus, I just got a feeling. And that happens to a lot of people. Like you step on campus and you're like, this is where I'm meant to be. And the Oklahoma Bells started playing. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. Also, I wanted to go here because of mostly the dance training. That's super important to me because I don't really have any. And it is top notch. I remember watching videos on the Instagram and just stalking OU's musical theater page on YouTube and Instagram and looking at the tap and just being blown away and wanting to be like that because they have the ability to take you in as a non-dancer and you're a triple threat by the time you get out. Every single person that goes through this program is a triple threat by the time they get out of this program. And that's what OU prides itself on. And that just really spoke to me because I wanted that. So yeah, that's ultimately why I chose the school.
Go ahead, Paris.
Oh, I was just going to say, mine is very similar to like what everyone else said. When I stepped on campus, I think a lot of my other auditions, I went to like on-campus auditions for everything. A lot of the other ones, I was like, okay, I'm here, I'm stressed. But something about stepping on the OU campus, the sun was shining, the birds were chirping, like fate was just like, baby, you belong here. And I was like, okay. And also Janice, the way that Janice reaches out to each student, you already feel like you're part of the family, even while you're still auditioning. It's just so nice to have that person there for you and you can ask any question. So that was already a hint about the environment that OU had in the community.
That's awesome. Janice is a rock star and is our recruitment coordinator, and she's the one that's been sending you invites. She's on this as a panelist, as you can see. Janice is great at really making sure you have all the information that you need. She is also a mom of 3 OU students. 2 of them are here, 1 just graduated. She understands all of the framework around the university experience for our students and knows what it's like to move your students into the dorm, or what the family weekend is like, or how it works for moms and dads, and how the bursar account works, and all of those things. It's just excellent information, and she's the kindest person you'll ever meet. So Janice is excellent at her job and wants to make sure you know what you need to know about our program. Paris, why don't you, several people are asking, what is your typical day like? Can you share a little bit about that?
Oh, yeah. So for me, I'll start with like a Monday. On Mondays, I get up at like 8 a.m., eat my breakfast, do the whole thing. And I have a voice lesson at 10:30 with Vince Lucini. He's my voice teacher. We'll work on whatever material we're working on for those 2 weeks or however long I work on the song. After that, I usually go to the biz or the library or home to work on my gen ed classes. This year, due to COVID, most of my gen eds, or actually all of them, are online. So some of them are Zoom conferences or they just send lectures to us. I do that up until about 1:30. And then at 2:30, I have Repertoire, which is a class where each week we're assigned a new song by a different composer or from a different style of musical theater, and we learn it. We do a preview day with our class and we just sing through the song, and then on the Friday or the Sunday of that week, we'll send in a video to our teacher of us performing the song. That class has been really helpful because it's helping us learn music really, really fast and build up our book too. And then at 4:20, there we go, I have jazz with Lynn Kramer, Jazz 3, which is just my workout for the week. Is great because we start off with some core, some stretching, cardio, and then we do like all these across the floors. It really feels like I'm in one of those movies. I always think of the movie Center Stage when they're in like the Broadway dance studios. It just feels like that to me. We're in a jazz Broadway thing. But then we work on a combo. Once that class is over, if you're in a show, you can go home and eat really fast, and then rehearsal will start at around 7 o'clock, and then you do rehearsal to maybe like 10 or 11 or whenever it's finished, and then go home, relax, do your homework, take a shower, decompress. And that's like my day.
That was awesome. You're like Paris Richardson on NBC Thursdays. That's awesome. So other questions about, looks like some things about our day. Can you tell me a little bit about what it's like to balance your time management? Jordan or Davey, with your rehearsals, or if you're in a show and it rehearsals till 11 o'clock, but then you also have gen ed classes and you have musical theater classes. And I know the sophomore year particularly, we call it the super busy year because of the kinds of sequencing that come in. The sophomores take class piano as well for 2 semesters in the School of Music. And so, yeah, there's a lot going on. How do you balance that? What are your tips? What is it like? Jordan, you want to take it?
Especially this year because of COVID, there's a lot of space between classes just to allow ventilation. And it's really important just to use that time, even if it's like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, to get stuff done between classes. The sophomore year is really piling up and there's a lot of work. So I just really use those little segments between each class to get little bits of work done so that I don't come home at the end of the day and just have so much piled on me while I'm in my bed, just all over me. And also I use like a bullet journal, and I just like write, like every class I'll go to, I'll like write down assignments I have and due dates and blah, blah, blah. And so I really stay on top of everything that way. Davey, do you have anything to add?
Yes. I also think it's important to acknowledge that the difference between like doing work in high school and college is that you actually care about musical theater. If you're pursuing this, I hope. Because I mean, in high school, I know I'd have to do like my AP Lang homework, like, oh, I'm going to procrastinate, not want to do this. But for homework, for all of our classes that we are taking, it's different because you're passionate about it and you want to learn, you want to grow, so it's easier to get stuff done. I know, like, being in a show, I was a swing in Legally Blonde this past semester, or last semester. It was kind of hard at first to try to deal with the time management, but that's why freshman year, they've set it up with the degree that freshman year you only take, like, I think it's like 15 credit hours per semester, and then it gets bigger as you go on until sophomore year hits. But they gradually push you into different classes and more classes so that you get those time management skills. It's also possible to double major / double minor, whatever. I think all of my roommates that I'm currently living with are either double majoring or double minoring or whatever. I'm minoring in health and exercise science just because I'm passionate about it. And you still have the ability to do that. You also have time to get a job. Like, I work as well. There is room for so many opportunities, so many different things. Like, and what's nice about the program is that they let you tap into each of those things because they know that you have the time management skills to do so. And you just learn and grow as the years go on and figure out how you can get everything done. But it is manageable and you find time to do it.
One other question I think is important. Can y'all share a little bit of your thoughts about living on campus, how the dorms are, what that works like? Because I think after the freshman year, you're required to live on campus during your freshman year, but in your upperclassmen years, you are allowed to move off campus, which most students do, I think. Correct? Anyone? Davey, Jordan, Paris?
Okay, I'll talk. Yeah. Living in the dorms freshman year was probably one of the greatest and craziest experiences ever. You know, your parents talk about living in the dorms. They always remember their freshman roommate. Like, it is an experience that everyone needs to have, whether it is good, whether it is bad. But you live in a little tiny room like every single college student does, and you get to decorate and everything. And it's so cool because there's 3 towers that are very close together. So all the freshmen live near each other. And I remember, like, I would run upstairs to Jordan's room because Jordan lived right above me just to go grab something, and maybe we'd play Uno at like 1 a.m. Like, your friends are all around you. They're everywhere. There's canes, there's different restaurants you can go to. Living in the dorms is a crazy experience, and it's so much fun because your entire class is there. And it's nice because when you come into this program, you already have a group of friends that are set for you, which a lot of people do not have, which is very fortunate. but it's definitely an experience, like learning how to, you know, cook in your little microwave in your dorm room and try to go to sleep at certain times, and dealing with just the fire alarms at 2 a.m. and having to go down 12 flights of stairs. I remember Jordan and I, right before Christmas break, there was a fire alarm at 4 a.m. and we both had flights to go home the next day, and we had to go downstairs, but it was a great bonding experience for our entire class because we were all sitting outside in the freezing cold, waiting outside the Canes door because we were like, guess we're awake now. But those are the kind of freshman dorm experiences that you'll tell your kids in the future about. But it's super fun, super exciting. What a time.
This year are, because they kind of met each other over Zoom in the spring once they committed to the school. And I think many of them room with each other or other people from the College of Fine Arts. And as Davey's saying, it's great to have people that you kind of know and connect with before you get here. There's lots of orientation and like Camp Crimson and things that they have for the freshmen to sort of get to know the campus. But I know that when you're coming to a campus with 27,000 people, to know 12 of them, pretty special. Let's see, I'll let the students head out here. Cool, yeah, I want to get to some audition information real quick. So thank you, Paris and Davey and Jordan. Y'all are awesome as usual. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. Y'all have a good day. Yay, bye. Awesome. So we're going to chat briefly about auditions. We have recruitment information that I can share with you on a slide. So I'm going to try to make sure that I get that up there for you all. Bear with me as I do that. Let's see. And then I'm going to share the screen. Great. So you can see here, these are some basic deadlines. Everyone who applies to the school does so through Get Accepted. Get Accepted is an online platform. Many schools use it. We've been using it for the last 2 years. It is a great way for us to see what you do. You get a chance to introduce yourself with your material that you're auditioning. We're using the common requirement that many schools are using. That information is on our website, theatre.ou.edu. Go there for all of the details. You can see that the deadline to apply to the School of Musical Theater is December 1st. And I want to make it very clear that we have 2 applications. You apply to the University of Oklahoma and you apply to our School of Musical Theater. You must apply to us through Get Accepted, and you'll do our application that way. We have an early deadline for some of the Moonified kids and the CAP kids. The Moonified kids have already submitted their things, and the CAP audition deadline is the 15th. Those auditions are in November. For the general population who's interested in being considered for the program, please submit your applications by December 1st. The entire faculty review all of the videos, and then we make a selection and call back students for February or January and February. And auditions finish up by, I guess, like February 15th. That's when it's traditionally finished up. And then we have the big meeting, we decide who the class is going to be, and we start making offers at the end of February, beginning of March. I should let you know, every student is on some form of musical theater scholarship. That is a way that we attract you, obviously, but it's also a way that we help acknowledge that school is super expensive. I think that you will find as you're doing your research that most of our students are from out of state, from the outside of Oklahoma. We have a few from Oklahoma and the region for sure, but we're a national program. We have kids from all over the country. But our out of state price as compared to some other schools for out of state is much more reasonable. It is, I think, $42,000 with room and board for out of state. That's still a lot of money, which is why we make sure that students are getting musical theater scholarships. Many students also qualify for academic scholarships, and you'll see this separate deadline is the 15th of December. Apply to the university by the 15th to make sure that you can be eligible for as many academic scholarships as possible. They all have different GPA requirements. We do too. The 3.0 is generally what you need to have to be eligible to keep your scholarships, and of course then also be eligible to audition for the shows. But the auditions are all through Get Accepted, and we can't wait to see you. You'll write a short essay about why you'd like to come to OU and what you see yourself accomplishing at the Weizenhofer School of Musical Theater. And as the student said, we're really interested in you doing and showing us what you do well in your audition pieces. You get a chance to introduce yourself and tell us what the song's going to be, and then we're going to be able to consider you based on what you've shown us. There's a wild card option, I believe. Many students will supply an extra dance something there if they play the guitar. All that's really useful information. Being able to sing a pop rock song or R&B song is very important these days. More than half of the Broadway shows, as you know better than me, don't involve sort of classic or legit singing. They are contemporary music. So that skill is very important to us. If you are someone who has no dance training, don't submit a video. You don't have to. But if you are someone who has dance training and wants to show that, just make sure that we know that. If you all have questions about the auditions, please submit them. And we're going to be wrapping up here in a minute or two. Anyone, let me see if I can stop sharing the screen so I can make sure I can see your questions. Here we go. All right. If there are any other questions about auditions, I'd be glad to hear them. I see so many names that are on here still. We have, of course, you have our emails. My email, I sent you the link to the video. I'm always happy to answer questions. Is abyram@ou.edu. Janice Rasnick, she's been communicating with you as well. We're both happy to help in whatever way we can. We want OU to be the best school for you. We want you to do well. When you meet us, I hope you can get the sense of that today. We care very much that you feel welcome here. We are a rigorous program. We have incredibly high standards. We also really have a good time. And we take ourselves seriously, but understand that what we're doing is something that we love and is fun to us. I see some questions coming. Good, good, good. Yeah. Is there any way to express that you haven't had very much dance training? Yes, we'll know that. I think you can say that's what one of the things you're looking forward to working on when you get to school is to improving your dance technique and your training. That's perfectly normal and acceptable. We have some killer dancers here. We also have killer dancers who are great singer-actors, and we have singer-actors who are working on their dance. The singing matters a lot because that's what makes it musical, right? We are interested in unique actors who have the potential to grow into incredible, detailed, nuanced storytellers who have a sense of themselves and what they'll play. We have a lot of time to spend with you because there's only going to be 12 of you in a class. It's a very family-oriented program with incredible training. School of Musical Theater is a unique place. We're all fortunate to be here, and I hope that you'll apply. And I know that Janice will be sending you all the links for the shows, for the performance tonight for Songs for a New World. We have a couple of other videos that we didn't get to that we'll include with that email. But enjoy the show tonight. It's very timely. We changed our title from Legally Blonde, which got postponed, to Songs for a New World. It responds very much to what's happening in the world today around the ideas of protest and COVID and what it's like to fight for the world you want it to, what the world you want to find and make for yourselves. So the students will be wearing masks, they'll have microphones, but we're so excited to share it with you on a live stream, and I'm so glad that you could join us today. We will, somebody asked about calling back. We call back typically around 100 or 120 for all of the auditions. So we make a huge cut out of the amount of applications that we have. But generally we are seeing 30 or 40 people per audition weekend. In Unifies, for example, last year in Chicago, I think we called back 44 over 2 days. We had a dance callback there. As I said earlier today, we're going to be sending the dance callback that you would learn for the callback material, and we'll send those instructions when that time comes. But right now, be concentrating on your essays, be concentrating on your letters of recommendations. Many of you are juniors, so continuing to work, take dance if you haven't before, get in a ballet class so that kind of stuff doesn't throw you. Keep working on creating your own art in this crazy time. We want to know all about you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I guess we will wrap it up. We will have this recorded and available, and we'll make sure you get the slides, although I think you got the gist of most of the things. But what a pleasure. Thank you all so much. Thanks to Janice for helping to set this up. Enjoy the show tonight. I'll see some of you there. I'll be there if you're coming in person. So thanks for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you in your applications, and good luck to you in this crazy process. You're really brave to go through with musical theater as the thing you want to follow in your life. We get it. We did it ourselves. We hope to see you soon. Thank you so much, everybody. Take care. Bye, you guys.